with your esteemed permission, as a pitcher, Mike, having your regular catcher back, does that give you an extra shot of confidence? Versus maybe throwing to a new guy or a youngster like Buster?
Well, I think anytime you have a catcher that you like throwing to, it relaxes you. And I think the one thing, so much is said about a catcher putting down the right fingers. I think more important than calling a game, because what a catcher does is he suggests a pitch. If you're the pitcher and he calls a slider and your arm's barking, you can't throw the slider, you shake it off. You're the pitcher. That pitch is going to go on your baseball card. So you have veto power or everything that guy suggests. But more important than that is a catcher that knows you and knows your rhythm. When you're working too fast, he slows you down. When you're working too slow, he quickens you up. And I think that's the most important thing. Plus, a catcher has to be able to frame strikes, and he's got to be able to have a good rapport with an umpire to get you strikes. The catcher my favorite catcher was always Bob Brindley. And Bob Brindley would sacrifice his bats because he had no fear to tick off an umpire to get me strikes. It may cost him a few strikes when he's at the plate. He didn't care. His whole priority was to get me strikes, to get me to do well. And those are the kind of catchers I like. And this is what I like about Benji Molina, is he's not afraid to get pitches called. Of course, he didn't take any pitches anyway. So it's not a bad thing for Benji to tick off an umpire, but I like that about him. Benji controls the rhythm of pitchers, and this is what Buster Posey has to learn. And being around a catcher like Benji Molina, he will learn that. I might also add, there's another guy in the mix that doesn't get enough credit, and it's Eli Whiteside, who is a very, very good catcher. The guy last year had 6 shutouts, including a no-hitter from Jonathan Sanchez, and he's very good as well. So Buster Posey's surrounded by Benji Molina, he's surrounded by Eli Whiteside, and he's going to learn quick. So a catcher's important.
Great answer, Mike. Dwayne?
Hey, seeing as Tito's not going to do this, I'd like to introduce Tito's partner on Spanish radio, Erwin Rivera. Also, a new member to our DMBR pregame show is going to be Marty Lurie. So, Marty.
A lot of talk this offseason, Dwayne, about the arbitration of Tim Lincecum. In your opinion, no matter how it gets resolved, do you think it will affect his pitching even one bit?
Well, you know what? We've watched this kid now for 2 years, and there isn't anything that affects him. I mean, when he takes the mound, he is locked in to the point where, you know, if he was making $20 a game, he's still going to pitch whether he's making $8 million, $13 million. It's not going to matter. He's that good, and I'm glad he's on our team. Let's put it that way.
Looking at the overall pitching staff, and this question for you as well, Mike, the addition of the guys that they signed to minor league deals, Young Kim and the former Dodger Mota, do those things matter at all, or are those just kind of moves for depth on the roster?
Well, I think as a general manager, you want to bring in as much experience as you can, especially for bullpen, because bullpen is something that, as a bullpen pitcher, you have to know how to pace yourself, you have to know how to maintain your strength, and guys who've done it before, guys that you can count on. The question that you have to ask in regards to Young Kim and Guillermo Mota is how much they have left in their arms. Physically, mentally, they know what they're doing. Physically, maybe their arm won't let them pitch 4 days a week or 3 days a week, and this is what the Giants are going to find out in spring. If Young Kim can do this, if he shows that he's strong enough and healthy enough, he'll make the team. And if Guillermo Mota is throwing around 90 miles an hour and he's got good stuff, consistently he can have good stuff 3-4 days a week, he'll make the team. You can't have enough arms for the bullpen. The game has changed. Complete game is a statistic that's gone by the way of the dinosaur. So you have to have more guys in that bullpen, more guys that know how to absorb workload. But if physically they can't do it, they won't make the team.
Is that something that kind of annoys you as a guy who played a couple decades ago, the fact that the complete game is all but gone?
It does. I think you become a better pitcher when you face a guy a 4th time in one game. You can outstuff a guy for 2 at-bats. But that 3rd and 4th at-bat, you're not going to outstuff him. Big league hitters going to be on you. They're going to be on your fastball. breaking ball is doing or what it's not doing. And they're going to create a one-pitch advantage, and they're going to hit it hard. You learn how to pitch the third and fourth time you face big league hitters. You guys don't have to do that anymore. They face a guy 2-3 times around the game, they give the ball in the bullpen. So I think it hurts the growth of the pitcher, but that's just the way it is, and it's not going back.
Tito, what's something that you look at in today's game that kind of bothers you versus how it was when you played? What part of today's game do you not like? Sorry, Tito.
What part? I'll go with that. For me, the game, he has changed, of course. But the still is a baseball. The structure is the same, the ball, you slide, you don't like anything. The player that play a little different. Now this day they don't play when they're hurt. They got to know that they can, the traveling is much better, the mode is much better. All those things, but the game itself, it doesn't change that much.
What's something that was?
Yes, that was the right question.
That was a good answer. Okay. Folks, anybody have a question out there in the audience? We will facilitate that. Yeah, take this one.
This question's from Mike. 165-pound Timmy going 95 miles an hour. Like some of the big boys do sports mechanics and throw 110. I couldn't hear it. Tim Lincecum, 165 pounds, throws 95 miles an hour. Got great mechanics. Why can't some of the big boys use those mechanics and throw 110? Yeah, everybody hear that question? Is Tim Lincecum at 155 pounds throws 95? How come guys like Guillermo Mota, who are 6'5", 230, how come they're throwing 88? We can't explain that. Tim Lincecum's mechanics are so unorthodox. When he separates his hands and his front foot goes down, traditionally baseball, pitchers have to have their hand up here when that front foot goes down. Hitters have to have their hands up here when that front foot goes down. You got to be in the throw position. And Lincecum, he'll be here, and that front foot will be here, and his hand will be way low. How he gets from here to there is what's remarkable about the guy. You can't explain speed. It all has to be perfect timing. It all has to be hip speed. It all has to be, a gift by nature. We're just glad he's ours. We get to watch him.